Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your boy K Witch, your mama's number one draft pick, and we are live in the Anajar and Levine Studios. Somehow, some way, we have survived. That's right. We have survived a weekend full of not just one, not two, but three spectacular sporting events. And we are in the middle, ladies and gentlemen, of the FIFA World Cup. And when they say World Cup, they talk about the whole world. Everybody is in on this. And America just so happens to be in a place where they could possibly come out of their group and contend for the cup. I'm blown away right now. I'm excited about this one. Bobby G, I see you in the building. I appreciate you. What's going on, bro? You there?
Of course I am. It is collection day.
Uh-oh. Speaking of collections. Yes, we come to collect. You know what it is, man. Rec Room Sports Radio right here on ESPN. Let's do it.
This is Rec Room Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes like Jay on the mic or your boy K Witt. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fist. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
Yes, sir, man. Once again, it's your boy K Witch, your Bob's number one draft pick. We are right here in the Anajar and Levine Studios. It is ESPN Radio, and it's Rec Room Sports Radio Show Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, what a weekend we had at hand. I'm talking about ups, downs, lefts, rights. Finally, we land square on the shoulders of champions. And I'm excited. This has got to be one of the best shows we put together. And guess what? I need you to stay tuned because in a minute, I'm going to have you call 904-362-9901 and win some tickets to the Jacks Waves game. We're going to give away them Jacks Waves teams. Excuse me. Look at me. Tongue tie. Jacks Waves tickets first. But of course, man, I got to give an intro to my people because they in the building. Of course, like always, we got Cleveland's own, but Las Vegas is home. Straight out of the room for the Game Time 216 podcast and Audible, where life and sports meet culture. It's Bobby G. What's up, my guy?
Hey, you see it right there. Medium rare with loaded mashed potatoes, please. Yeah, looking forward to today. Been looking forward to today for a few weeks. You know, it's pay. Y'all recall a couple weeks ago. Y'all heard it, man. We ain't gonna let them off easy.
Oh,
what do you say? FOTS.
Yeah, the FOTS.
Yeah, the FOTS. Evan Wheeler. Hey, my say what Motar say at the butter rim. My dudes. You know, hey, it's that time.
It's that time.
It's that time.
So. Well, you know, here on Rec Room, when we got bets, we pay up. So this is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am excited to go ahead and bring you the new news from the top of the headlines. So we're going to go ahead and bring it to you this way, man. Bobby, you know what it is. Right about now, we're going to go ahead and play a little game we call What's the Word? Word Up. What's the word? So in real life, we want to go ahead and give a shout out to everybody out there driving, all of our, first responders, everybody who works EMT, firefighters, police officers, our truck drivers, our Uber drivers, people who deliver DoorDash. Y'all are important. So big shouts out to you as well. Make sure you can find us on Rec Room. That's at Rec Room Sports on Twitter or X. On Instagram, that's _ Rec Room Sports. On TikTok, that's at Rec Room Sports Hub. And then, of course, on YouTube at THEE Rec Room Sports Hub. Now, when we play What's the Word, we kind of just going to go through the headlines and see where our language leads us as we talk about what's happened in the past week. And right now, of course, if you have not been aware of what's been going on in the world, FIFA World Cup, ladies and gentlemen, has been going on, and it has been going bananas. Mexico's historic home opener has been one of the top topics of conversation, of course, as Mexico went 2-0 over, 2-0, as they say in soccer, over South Africa. Baljan's Hollywood debut, Lauren Baljan became an instant American icon, scoring a brace in a dominant 4-1 win over Paraguay in Los Angeles. Canada's first point in a historic night in Toronto. What a way to go in your own country and do your thing. Ghana stoppage. What? All kinds of things. So many stories for the world of FIFA. Bobby G, what is a word for you to describe what's been going on with FIFA in the World Cup?
Exciting. Obviously it's exciting for the United States to get their first W last week. Watching some of the other matches going on, lots of quote unquote upsets, and it's just exciting. Again, we always call sports a great unifier, and to be the host country for this great event, man, and to have all of the excitement going on, plus what's going on in it, like it's just a great time to be a sports fan in America. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. And one of the words I've begun to use after I've done a little research was entitlement. There's a couple of teams, they feel like they just going to walk in and trample over the other, countries in the World Cup. And that's okay, because they got a couple of stars. The big names are playing, and, you got your Ronaldos, you got your Mbappes, and once you kind of delve into the spice of life, which is FIFA World Cup, which is international, it's just everywhere. We think football is big, we think baseball is big, but FIFA is everywhere. They not playing. Some people really thought that they were going to walk in and take over, but they found a little bit of difference going on right about now. But that's 1 for 1. Dan, let's go 2 for 2. Something else that involves the championship. What? What's the word? The Carolina Hurricanes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you know, but the Stanley Cup, or Stanley's Cup, is going to reside in North Carolina once again, ladies and gentlemen. The Carolina Hurricanes won 4-2 over the Las Vegas Knights. Bobby G, I know you little heard about that one. Of course, the Conn Smythe, which is technically the MVP, goes to Jordan Staal. And in the end, when Carolina won 4-2, this was a crazy idea to see them install a rookie goalkeeper and have him put on a stalwart effort and magically find a way to just make sure nobody scores. Of course, there was some goal score, but he put on a courageous effort, and we have to give respect to the players involved, because this was a big deal for, of course, Carolina to pull off a second Stanley's Cup victory. So, Bobby G, on your end, you may have a different word because you are in Vegas, but what's the word for Stanley's Cup going to the Carolina Hurricanes?
No, just congratulations.
Right.
Being here in Vegas, I'm a Knights fan, so of course, I would have loved a different result. But yeah, congratulations. They were the favorite coming in. They were the better team coming in. We were able to steal a game, early steal game one, and kind of make it interesting. Should have actually gone up 3-0, but you saw the separation of teams. Just saw again, Carolina made every play they needed to. We missed some opportunities. At the end of the day, you just tip your cap, say congratulations, and we'll be back next year.
100%. See, spoken like a real sportsman. This sportsmanship is shared on the ice a little different, because of course after I knock you into the wall for 6 and 7 games, you got to skate by me and shake my hand. Okay, that's what's real. I don't know if you know, but it's like a full-on car crash into the boards on a hockey during a hockey game just about every time. So by that third game, I am ticked off. Okay, I don't want to shake no hands. That's my word right there. Ticked off, and I win. I'm not a good sportsman. I'm throwing my gloves in the air, and I'm skating around with Sir Stanley's Cup, and I'm drinking out of it responsibly, like a professional.
But also remember, in hockey's the only sport where they actually get to handle it. So it's like you done already got everything out, So not only do they handle it on the scoreboard, they can handle it with them hands. So you 100% right. If you don't know about hockey, it gets handled. All right. If you see two guys throw them gloves off and take off that helmet, it's going down center ice. Speaking of center ice, I went to an Iceman's game out here in Jacksonville. Big shouts out to the Jacksonville Icemen out here, doing their thing. I watched the fight. I can't lie. I watched the game. I was excited about that. But moving on through the headlines, man, Bobby G, it's crazy to see that Brandon Sorsby from Tech has decided to enter the supplemental draft and find his way into the NFL. I mean, after all of that hard work, after Texas Tech was possibly being boycotted by the other members of the Big 12 Conference, he decided to take his talents to the pros. He was already getting paid like a pro, so he might as well get paid like a real pro and go to the NFL. What's the word? What's the word? For Brandon Sorsby going into the supplemental draft? Risk.
I like that.
What team is willing to take the risk? If I were the GM of a team, I don't think I'd be the man that would want to take that risk for my team. It's a touchy subject. We've seen what has happened to some guys in the NFL who've already fallen victim to those rules. Calvin Ridley instantly comes to mind. Now we see what some guys in the NBA are going through. Chauncey Billups, Jonte Porter, Scary Terry. The difference is between all of those guys and Sorsby, will probably be the first player who is franchise worthy to go through this. It's difference being the wide receiver, a lineman, or linebacker. You're the quarterback. You're the guy that at the end of the game is answering the tough questions. You're the guy being celebrated when we win. You're the guy getting the blame when we lose. You're the guy on TV. You're the guy on all the billboards, all the programs, and all the commercials. Are you willing to risk your franchise and put your franchise in this guy's hands? And so we shall find out.
Yeah. You said risk. I say ballin'. Okay, if you thought I was gambling before, I'm about to gamble it all now. I'm risking it all, baby. Put all the chips to the middle of the table. Give me my card, sir. I don't care if I got 19. I'm going to go for one more. I'm right there. I feel it. It's a 2. It's a 2 over there, isn't it? It's a 2. I bet you it's a 2. That's exactly how I feel about Brandon Sorsby. I mean, really, you gotta gamble on yourself sometimes. Now, this is a horrible analogy because if you don't know, Brandon Sorsby spent over or around $90,000 betting on around the 3 teams that he had been a part of between Cincinnati, Illinois, and Texas Tech.
I thought that's how much he had won.
Oh, yeah, you're right. How much did he win if he bet $90K, right? The idea is he did say he went to therapy. He also mentioned that he has, taken a leave of absence from most social media and the gambling sites, which he was, quote unquote, addicted to. And he felt as though he was being a part of the game with his teammates, even though he wasn't there with them, by betting on them doing well. Because he never bet on them to lose. He always bet on the over for them to get more yards, for them to score more points, and for them to do better. So I don't know. I don't know, though. Somewhere in the NFL, because it's a different league, I have a feeling that the moxie, the gumption, the belief system that is put behind being an NFL quarterback, somebody's going to see the talent and risk it all. Put the chips in the middle of the table and say, hey, son, if you go over here and tear that practice squad up for about 3 weeks, I might have a spot for you. You know what I mean? Go over there and don't cause no trouble. Keep your head down. Get your playbook. Get right. And if you show me something, I'll put you on. And then, boom, we're going to see him on Madden with like a 72 rating. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you that's what's really going to happen. Because if you thought a Texas judge wasn't going to let him play football, just wait till one of them coaches get a hand on him and see how good he possibly could be, especially in a situation like Arizona or maybe even your Cleveland Browns, because they are currently believing in Deshaun Watson. They ain't seen Deshaun Watson play since Obama was in office, and they want him to be the starting quarterback. I don't get it.
Open competition. It is not Deshaun's job. It's a competition.
It is a competition. I give you that. And of course, last but not least, Bobby G, you had an opinion or a word to talk about when it comes to how steak is prepared. So, Bobby G, what is your word? What's the word? For the preparation of steaks.
Yo, right there. Medium rare with loaded mash, please. Yeah. Medium rare. And the reason it's medium rare is because, if they happen to undercook it, it's still rare. So we still good.
Got it. I think we're referencing someone in this steak conversation, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him sometime in the next hour or so. And if not, big shouts out to P5 and Evan Wheeler. But of course, last but not least, my word for UFC 250 freedom was ostentatious. Ooh, yeah. That's right. Big presentation in front of the president on the White House lawn in front of millions and millions of spectators, ladies and gentlemen. I can't lie to you. UFC 250 freedom was one for the books. 7 fights, 7 incredible finishes. Of course, some of them were decisions, but they were still great fights. And at the capstone of the PLE, the premium live event, Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria, getting an unbelievable opportunity to be a 6-1 underdog and win against the then champion to be crowned undisputed champion. Justin Gaethje did it all, and if you didn't see what Ilia Topuria's face looked like when it was over with, man, let me tell you, you need to go find out, because in the end, the politics aside and poor word choices aside from if you win and you say something dumb, go look that up as well. The idea for me is specifically that UFC 250 was a spectacle for the ages. Stars upon stars were there, and very much like the Roman emperors of the past, President Trump was right there on the side, bro. I'm talking about a close-up on the side with Dana White, face in the right there in the mesh, in the chain link, watching it, and I can't say whether this is the best thing for America right now, because, we're not a political show, but, for him to have taken the avenue to put that on as America gets ready to celebrate 250 years of its existence and give something for the people to look at. Over 40,000 people out there by the lake and whatnot in the South Lawn. That was crazy. Okay, yeah. That's wild. So ostentatious is my word for the spectacle that was UFC Freedom 250. And I don't think we're going to get another one like that again. I'll tell you that. And we're not going to see Ilia Topuria for about 11 and a half, 12 months, because, boy, them eyes was shut. You heard me?
Yeah, you need to see the doctor for, what's that movie, Face Off?
Oh, man.
Yeah, you need to see that doctor.
Yeah, man. Double orbital bone surgery is definitely in order. But big shouts out to Justin Gaethje for proving all the haters and all the doubters wrong. But coming up next, we're going to talk about what the words will be for the Knicks as they took home the NBA Finals trophy over the weekend against the San Antonio Spurs. They had the big celebration today going down in the middle of New York. That's right. Hey, Brian, I think you got something to play, so we can go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back. It's your boy K Witt and Bobby G and the rest of the Rec Room Sports crew will be here shortly. Let's get right.
Yeah, man, if y'all ever want to come through, come check out the shop, Unique Trends and Styles. We got a lot of stuff to do. Game room. Come check out the great barbers we have in here. You know, anybody could cut you up. Fresh cuts every day, clean cuts. Consistency is the key, and we always got you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the boy K Witt from the Rec Room Sports Radio Show right here on ESPN. Bobby G, we gave him some words. Now we got to get into the crux, the meat of what took place. Pause. Over the weekend.
What is happening here?
Okay. You know, but man, let me say this. You know, I think you mentioned earlier that sports brings people together. And I don't know if there was a person in the world who was a basketball fan who did not get an opportunity to witness what took place over the weekend and couldn't feel something. You know what I mean? Just something. Feel anything. But this weekend, the NBA Finals concluded with a riveting Game 5. That's right. The NBA put on a show in San Antonio, and the tickets were bought at Game 4. I promise you, because you know what? New Yorkers were out there in the streets on their phones. All the A-listers were like, look, if it goes down in San Antonio, I am going to be there. And the Knicks did it after a historic run in which they only lost, 3-4 games, literally, like out here in the streets. It's very rare to see that type of accomplishment and then not be taken aback by the way it was done and how they were overlooked for some time. So let's go ahead and get right into it, right? So the Knicks won Game 5, 94-90. Of course, there's no other question of who the MVP would be, especially if you find out he dropped 45 points. Come on, bro. Who gonna drop 45 points except for Jalen Brunson? That's right. Big body Brunson went crazy after he delivered a performance for the ages. Somehow, some way, Brunson took over, scoring 13 straight points for New York. His go-ahead floater in about around that minute period that gave the Knicks the 90-88 lead, and they would not let go. For some reason, I think we heard the words of a very well-respected WNBA head coach who resides in Las Vegas. Okay. And she said that you can't win a championship with a small guard. And it was immediately put into our mindset that this was not impossible. Somebody like myself, like Bobby G, I think we begin to reminisce on moments of AI and think of how hard it was to see AI overcome the hardships of being a star player on a team and it not being fully set for him to be a champion. We didn't have that. Brunson had a squad, and it really made for dynamic television. Bobby G, as we get a moment to think about what took place with the Knicks, not just the game, just the Knicks in general this season. Like, how do you feel about what we saw from the beginning of the season up until now?
They came into the season. A lot of people thought the Eastern Conference was a two-team race between the Knicks and the Cavs, obviously, because we knew Jason Tatum was going to essentially miss the majority of the season, right? Yeah. Also, Tyrese Halliburton, we knew he was going to miss a majority, if not the entire season. So we knew it was kind of a down year, quote-unquote down year for the East. But then both the Cavs and Knicks struggled out of the gate, right? They struggled out of the gate. And they opened the door for the Celtics, who Jalen Brown had this phenomenal season. And it's like, whoa, okay, maybe then. And then you got Tatum coming back. So to kind of muddle through the regular season and basically enter the playoffs with really lower expectations than they started the season with, right? Because at that time, the Celtics had become the hot team. The Pistons had come out of nowhere to be the number 1 seed. So, the expectations actually went down going into the playoffs. And just to see the job that not only the roster did, but Mike Brown, your head coach, who had been through his own trials and tribulations, taking a young Cleveland Cavaliers team to the finals and being swept by the San Antonio Spurs, ironically, into being let go. What was it, a half a season stint with the Lakers, or 1 year stint with the Lakers, to rehired in Cleveland and fired 1 year. Like, he'd been through his own trials and tribulations, and to see his growth as a coach and just their willingness to not quit because they've been battle tested. They didn't just pop out of nowhere. They've been through the wars, with the last 2 years losing to the Pacers, right, in the playoffs. You lose to the Hawks, and you lose. Take all these losses, take all the bumps and bruises, and then to now take those lessons and put them forth in this playoff run, which really turned around when Mike Brown made the decision to take the ball out of Brunson's hands, put it in Karl Anthony Towns, make him more of a playmaker, and then they just, took off like lightning on this amazing run. Didn't lose a game again until game 3 of the NBA Finals. Swept the Sixers, swept the Cavs, went on to basically not lose another game to the Hawks. And Jalen Brunson is the leader of this, right? He's the colonel of the golden platinum tank, so to speak.
For sure.
It was just amazing to see. It was great to watch him. Let's back off Becky Hammond. Let's do that.
Let's back off
because we're gonna act like she was the only person that said that. Like the many people, many a talking head, many a former players have said, like it's different. How many people criticized Donovan Mitchell? And so, which is part of the reason why the Cavs went out and got James Harden, because we had a double small backcourt. We had Darius Garland, who's 6'1", and Donovan Mitchell, who's listed as 6'3", but he's about 6'1".
6'1", 6'2".
Right, and to make us go out and get a bigger guard. So she's not the first person, she's not the last person. And then if you look historically, really you can only point to 3 cases. Now, with Brunson being the third, Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry being smaller guards to lead their team's championship. So we can put that all on Becky Hammond, like she was the only person that said this. But yeah, it was great to see. It was great to see the journey, great to see the fan, with the exception of the knucklehead fans that kind of made you not want to root for the Knicks. Yeah, and because be a fan, celebrate, but come on, man, don't be obnoxious with it, and don't cause physical harm to other people. That's what are we doing?
Yeah, I thought that was some bonehead stuff. A couple of fans throwing eggs at Wemby as they go into the hotel. I can't really get with that. I mean, I understand, it's New York, it's gritty, grimy, but you could be gritty and grimy without being completely and blatantly disrespectful.
Exactly.
And as I see here, it looks as though one of our favorite uncles has just joined the chat. Oh, look at that. Uncle Scott Cole, welcome to the show.
He deserves it. He deserves it for how he played in the final. I'm great. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great, Uncle Scott. So this is a conversation in which you've come in just at the right time. We're talking about the Knicks, just the Knicks right now. A historic run, 53 years in the making, to the finals, game 5, in which I think no one really saw it happening this way. But somehow, some way, when we think about the context of how the season started and where they ended.
I need you to correct yourself, sir. There was somebody who saw it that way.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Bobby.
And his name is Bobby T.
You saw it ended that way. My apologies, brother. My apologies, brother. So,
let's get that guy on so we can talk about it, huh?
Yeah, but besides our friend who's not here, big shouts out to Evan Wheeler for P5, who has some training going on right now. He's making people shoot lots of jumpers. The idea would be that we got an opportunity to witness history as the Knicks won their first championship in 53 years. Uncle Scott, just putting a button on the whole thing from the Knicks season, how do you feel about it as you got a chance to witness it?
Well, first, everybody's making excuses. Oh, they didn't play the Celtics at full strength. Oh, they didn't do this. They didn't do that. They won the title. They played whoever they had to play to win the title. That's number one. Number two, Rick Brunson.
His dad.
That's his father. Jalen Brunson could be the most clutch player in the NBA today.
For sure, 100%.
When the game is on the line, that guy performs and performs and performs, and there's nobody better than him. Best free agent pickup ever in the NBA, I think, was Jalen Brunson. Pretty close to it. Pretty close to it. If it's not the best, it's probably in the top 2 or 3. I think the Knicks had everything. OG woke up. He played well in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Karl Anthony Towns set the stage for them to get there by playing his facilitator role. And Jalen Brunson took over when he needed the most in the fourth quarter. So that team had a lot of good things going for them. And they deserved to win. They did deserve to win. And I'm a Celtics fan, but they deserve to win. So.
Yeah, you and me both, Uncle Scott. So y'all know how I do. I like to bring the numbers to the table. So historically, the average viewership is around 19.2 to 20 million viewers. The average viewership of this NBA Finals was 24.5 million viewers, but peak viewership was during Game 5, where 33 million viewers tuned in to watch the NBA Finals games. This was the most since the 1998 Finals, where Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls dominated. This is historic. And then, of course, when we think about the numbers as far as scoring and points, look at this, guys. OG Anunoby with 11, Josh Hart 13, Mikal Bridges with 14. But then you look at the rebounds, because everybody else did work. Even if it's not on the points, the point side of the box score, we got 8 rebounds from OG Anunoby. Karl Anthony Towns with 10, Josh Hart with 11, and then the capstone for me and for everybody else was 14 to 27, 4-7 from 3, 45 points. Let me say it again. 45 points from a small guard who was the backup to Luka Doncic. Dallas Mavericks, eat your heart out, okay? Because you got rid of Luka, you could have kept Brunson. You could have. Chose not to. I don't know why. Maybe you thought that you couldn't win with a small guard, but somehow a coach's belief is a huge thing. And I think, Scott, if you have the opinion that one of the best free agent signings, maybe next to Kawhi, immediately going to Toronto and winning, is Jalen Brunson going to New York, I got to say that the immediate transfer of power from Coach Tom Thibodeau to Mike Brown has to be a huge, is very, very underestimated, in my opinion, because it's not much that you can say that wasn't done prior to now under Tom Thibodeau, but just the belief and putting the battery in the back of Jalen Brunson, I think, from Mike Brown and the rest of the team as well, is really a big deal. And I can't go any further without mentioning Mitchell Robinson, man. These free throws shoot 27%. Oh my God. But he comes out there and got the most pivotal rebound of the series. I felt like he was being boxed out on both sides between Wemby and it literally, it didn't matter. Let's just say this. Wemby was in front of him. And when I say in front of him, completely boxed out, and somehow over both Devin Vassell and Wemby, Mitchell gets the rebound and taps the ball back out. Crazy. So Mitchell Robinson, the longest tenured Knick on this squad, deserves a whole heap of praise for his performance. I don't know, what they're going to do about him shooting free throws, because that brother cannot shoot free throws. Him and Shaq in practice, going free throw for free throw would be crazy. But yeah, Mitchell Robinson put in that work and helped, gain these Knicks a championship for sure.
He's the greatest Knick of all time. Mitchell Robinson.
There were 9 games. There were 9 games in the series. Do you guys realize it?
9 games?
Four fourth quarters and 5 games. Because the Spurs dominated the first 3 quarters in almost every game of this final.
Yeah.
And then the Knicks in the fourth quarter said, okay, time for us to wake up. And sure enough, Spurs led the series. Over 70% of the series, the Spurs had the lead.
And you're right. And Victor Wembanyama mentioned it in his press conference. They held the lead by 10 points or more in all of the games, all of them. And somehow the Knicks found a way to come back. But guess what? We got to go ahead and make sure everybody knows what they need to know, because you know what's going to make you come back? A fresh haircut from Unique Trends and Styles. Come on, boy. You know what it is, man. Don't wait. Right now, 266 Blandon Boulevard, Suite 8A. It is going down. Big shouts out to my girl Unique. Big shouts out to D. Y'all been doing y'all thing. I've been getting rave reviews from the peoples y'all been cutting. Big shouts out to all of my other barbers, Shannon. Shout out to Biff the Barber. Shout out to Flip, the UFC fans. I know Flip watched UFC the other night. Anyway, make sure you stop by Unique Trends and Style and go and see Dean Unique for your cut. Right now, if you get your first cut from them on me, you'll get 10% off your first cut. That's right. So make sure you give them a call, 904-592-7135. And speaking of phone numbers, if you call 904-362-9901, I got 4 tickets for you to go see the Jacks Waves next home game on your boy. That's right, on Rec Room. So do me a favor, call the number now, 904-362-9901, and we're going to give them Jacks Waves tickets away. It's your boy K Witt, it's Bobby G, and Uncle Scott is in the building. Let's do this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back. It's the boys for the RecRoomSports Radio Show right here on ESPN Radio. I am your boy K Witt. That is Uncle Scott, and we got Game Time. 216 is on an Audible Sports podcast where life and sports meet culture. Bobby G in the building, and man, we began the show with a bit of praise for the New York Knicks and what they've accomplished in this year, as we've seen very few do with the lineup and the circumstances. But before we get into that, which will be next to talk about the Spurs, Uncle Scott, you said you had a word because you missed it, right?
Yeah, first of all, Bobby G, I'm very sorry Evan did not appear today. He is trying to avoid you. So that's first and foremost. You're on mute. You're on mute. That's number one. Number two, here's my World Cup story. You guys know Boston's a big city in America.
Yeah.
Scotland played in Boston their first game.
Okay.
The city of Boston ran out of Sam Adams beer because everybody in Scotland drank the Sam Adams beer.
What?
The whole city was completely out of Sam Adams beer because
awesome.
the Scotland country of Scotland brought so many fans over, and they took over Fenway Park for a game the other night too. They were one section was completely full of Scotland World Cup fans.
Wow.
They ran out of Sam Adams beer in Boston and could not get it back in stock quick enough for the next day.
That is wild. That's wild, bro.
That's how the World Cup is drawing in America. Is that there are millions of fans in America right now just because of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Boy.
I take it they didn't have any damn Jacksons in reserve.
No, they did not. They did not have any Sam.
Get you drunk. Anyway, yeah, man.
Life was the only beer left, Bobby G. That they had.
Get your Michelob Ultra and enjoy your weekend. Anyway, as we continue, right? We talked about the Knicks, their historic run, 53 years in the making, parade earlier today. What a historic moment to see. But there is another side to this, ladies and gentlemen. What about the losers? And even in the sense of losers, they made it to the NBA championship games, the finals, after having had drafted a transitional talent from France in their third year of him being there. Is this really a way to look at the Spurs as a losing franchise, or is there an opportunity for them to have a optimistic view of what has happened? Can they keep their heads held high as they have done what very few have done, but what most big men have often fell victim to, which was very early, of peaking, to a degree. This could very may well be the last time we see Victor Wembanyama in the finals, but probably not. But, Shaq lost in the finals, right? Kevin Garnett lost in the finals. Dirk, look at Dirk lost a bunch of times before he won. So normally you got to take a tough loss as a star power forward or a star center in the league. You normally take a tough loss and then bounce back. Look at Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard had, stardom written all over him from the time he was brought into the league. Didn't get one until his way out with the Los Angeles Lakers. So, as we look at the Spurs, gentlemen, what can we say they have to look forward to this offseason?
Who's the coach? Who's the coach?
That's going to be one of the biggest questions for them.
It's going to be Mitch.
Mitch Johnson will be the coach. He'll have some heat on him going into next year. I don't know if he adjusted. He didn't coach a good final series, I don't think. He did. It didn't seem like he did much adjusting to what the Knicks were trying to do. He couldn't stop Brunson. He didn't double team him. He didn't do any of that. And Wemby should not be covering Brunson at any point in that game. The guy's 7'5". Brunson is what, 6'1", 6 feet?
If that.
If that.
5'11".
Why isn't De'Aaron Fox or Castle or Vassell or any of those guys covering him in spurts? Wemby was on him a lot down the stretch in fourth quarters. And I didn't like that because Brunson could just quick right by him and score and get to the goal. So again, I just think that it was, I don't put it all on Mitch Johnson, but I put at least half of it on Mitch Johnson because it didn't seem like he was adjusting to it. And De'Aaron Fox played a horrible series too. That's another thing.
Yeah.
You're paying this guy. You're paying this guy the boat right now. The bag. He's got the bag. He's getting his new contract kicks in. His 4-year, $200 and something million contract. It kicks in next year. So you got to get more than what you got out of him in the finals for them to be successful to get back to this spot. It's not all on Wemby. It's on the supporting cast for them to help Wemby get there and win.
It's like Spurs fans. In the words of Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Like, this is a young team who had to take their lumps and learn how to win. De'Aaron Fox is going to take a lot of grunt, and it's well deserved. Not defending him, but we also have to keep in mind, prior to this NBA Finals, literally the biggest game he'd ever played in was a Game 7 in the first round against an aging Golden State team. He also has to go through his lumps. Your most experienced, the player you're looking for your knowledge and your comfort is Harrison Barnes, who spent 5 minutes on the court in the entire. So just relax. Like, don't make any drastic moves with the roster and changes to the roster. Only changes they need to make is who plays when. You're going into next season, Dylan Harper will probably be your starting point guard. De'Aaron Fox is going to have to adjust to a bench role or be traded. But they don't need to do it. It's like, oh, we don't need to go get Giannis. We don't have to go. What can we do to get Anthony Davis to look like? Don't do that. You have the roster, you have the personnel. They just needed the experience. And Wemby will find himself on a short list pretty soon. How many since 2000? How many first overall picks have led their team to a championship? 2. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, and they had to do it together. So, Wemby will probably be the third to do it. He's just got to get through his own personal things. He's got to work on that post game. He's got to get a go-to post move. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still alive. You might want to call him up and learn a sky hook. I heard it works pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, God, memories. Oh, memories.
Yeah, right. Of course, as a Boston fan. Hey, look, our good friend AP Allen Paralysis is in the back. AP, what it do? I see you, bro. Welcome to the show.
That Oklahoma City Thunder team is terrible, aren't they? They're awful. They can't even make the finals.
No. It's all about baseball right now. It's all about
blow up the whole roster.
Right
now. So Alan,
I was gonna ask, what was it like doing that pickup game with Kareem back in the day?
Oh God, don't remind me. I can see those goggles in my sleep all the time. Holy moly!
Yeah,
but
Kareem.
Bobby's point with, he's right.
Kareem fresh out of the barbershop. Yeah, doing the skyhook. I can only imagine.
He's 1,000% right. I mean, the Bulls had to go through it. The Pistons had to go through it in the day. When the Nets were good and they got to the finals, they had to go through it by beating these teams. I mean, you got to go through it before you get success in the NBA.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Alan, as we get into the final piece of this segment, because we're getting ready to rock out before we go into the second hour. What was your thought, Alan, as you got an opportunity to witness Wemby and the Spurs take a loss to the New York Knicks?
It's just inexperience. It's inexperience. It's not figuring out how to close games out. It's allowing not making adjustments on the fly, not being able to adjust to a changing defense of what the Knicks were doing in the fourth quarter of these games. It's overconfidence, and in some cases it's cockiness. It's cockiness. I mean, we saw it in Game 4 with Wemby, saying, doing the I'm in your head taunt, and then that kind of sparked the comeback in Game 4 that allowed the Knicks to come back and win that game. So just got to be smart about it. Just got to play smart basketball. Like Scott said, they'll get back here. They just got to, Wemby's got to develop his game a little bit more, and they've got to get more support from his role players as well. So they'll figure it out. It's a lot of people are saying it's not a matter of if but when. But if they don't figure it out, though, it could be it's going to start being a question of what if in these cases. So I think they'll figure it out, but if they don't, a lot of people are going to start questioning some of the players on this team.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. And, of course, we'll get a chance to dive a little bit further into that topic as we get into the second hour, because there goes that cowbell, boys. So, of course, we got to make sure everybody knows that Unique Trends and Styles is our personal favorite in terms of what we do here. So big shouts out to everybody there. Unique, D, Shannon, Biff the Barber, our girl Sheree, Miss Sheree, I see you, and all the staff over there. And make sure, please, stop by, patronize them. I'm giving you 10% on your first cut when you go through the door. So give them a call, 904-592-7135. And please give us a call so we can give away these tickets. Okay, we got another set, 904-362-9901. We got another set of Jack's Waves tickets to give away because we got it like that. So right here on ESPN Radio, it's the boy from K Witt and from Rec Room Sports. We'll be back in just a minute. Peace.
Yeah, man, if y'all ever want to come through, come check out the shop, Unique Trends and Styles. We got a lot of stuff to do. Game room. Come check out the great barbers we have in here. Anybody could cut you up. Fresh cuts every day, clean cuts. Consistency is the key, and we always got you. Thank you.
It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from, especially in New York after the parade. That's right, man. It's the boys from RecRoomSports Radio Show right here in the Adam John Levine studios. And you know we got to bring it to you like we always do. The second half of the show, we like to do something a little different. This is where we bring the internet to your radio. So, of course, we got to do a little something. I need to know.
By the way,
all
these world-class golfers,
an
amateur is in the lead at the U.S. Open right now.
We just
all these world-class golfers and this 18-year-old kid out of college or 20-year-old kid out of college is beating them all right now. So,
and his name is John Cena.
Oh! We needed that button. You could have, boy, that would have been perfect timing. But of course, AP, Allen, you, my good sir, were thinking to yourself, I need to tell everybody that my team is in the College Baseball World Series. Go ahead and give us a word for your team out there in Oklahoma representing.
I mean, there's only one word to describe, and that is magic. Sooner magic, to be exact. I mean, what a run they've been on so far this postseason. You put in a group setting in regionals with the second best team in the country in Georgia Tech. You get out, not only beat Georgia Tech once, but twice to get out of that regional. You sweep Kansas out of the super regional, who won the Big 12 this year. Now you're putting it, and then it's like, okay, you're putting an SEC gauntlet with Georgia, Texas, and Alabama. Oklahoma's probably on paper the worst team out of those four, and you're like, how do we get out of this? You beat Georgia twice, and you beat Alabama so bad that they forget how to play baseball the rest of the series. So, and now you have probably the team who's been the most consistent team all year long in North Carolina. So, fitting way for the season to end. One of the best North Carolina teams of all time, trying to win their first World Series against an Oklahoma team who's been middle of the pack in the SEC all year long, but is playing their best baseball at the right time. This is going to be a fun World Series. It really is. It's going to be, might not be the best college World Series, but it's definitely going to be a fun one to watch for sure.
100%, man. Thanks for throwing that out there for us, Alan. And of course, you know, as we bring the internet to your radio, one of the more dynamic topics in and around sports right now, especially as the New York Knicks have won the NBA championship, involves the New York Knicks of the past, not even the present, but the past. There are so many to think of when it comes to greatness and how they have transcended New York, if you will. Some of them are bigger than the city, or were bigger than the city, especially when they donned the orange and blue and white of a New York Knicks uniform. So my question to the panel is basically, where is Jalen Brunson among Knick greats? Now, I did a little bit of research. I had to ask Manis and a couple of other people that I know who are Knicks fans. I got some Knicks names that might be on this list, but in my mind, I know one of the people I can refer to immediately is Scott because he was there to see some of these Knicks play. So,
you're talking about Walt Frazier and Willis Reed? Is that what
but yeah, when you think of Jalen Brunson, Scott, you know, is he now after bringing the championship home to New York? Is he the greatest Knick ever of all time?
A lot of people will say yes because of the title. I think he's number 2. Cambridge's own Patrick Ewing is number 1. I think. Okay. I believe, and I'm 55 years old. Everybody thinks I'm 95. I'm 55 years old. I've seen Patrick Ewing. I've seen clips of Willis Reed and Clyde Frazier and all those guys. I still think the Knicks had a gauntlet to go through in the East when Patrick Ewing played. You had Michael Jordan in the Bulls. You had Larry Bird in the Celtics. You had a Pistons. Isaiah Thomas in the Pistons. So you had a gauntlet to go through. Is it close? Yes, it is. I think, but Jalen Brunson's number 2. Even his father said Patrick Ewing's the greatest Knick to ever play for the Knicks. So I'm going to agree with Rick Brunson. I think Patrick Ewing is number 1, closely followed by Jalen Brunson, number 2.
Okay. Alan, Knicks. Greatest Knick ever? Jalen Brunson? What you thinking, bro?
Here's the thing, though. I'm not as old as everybody else, unfortunately, on here. My basketball knowledge does not extend that far back. Unfortunately, I wish it did. So from what I've personally seen, I have to throw Jalen Brunson number 1 of the guys that I've personally seen, because as long as I've watched basketball, the Knicks have been a joke. For the entire time that I've been a fan, the Knicks have been a joke. So to me, that automatically throws Jalen Brunson up at number 1. Now, Scott, if you want to go historic, Patrick Ewing definitely up there, definitely number 1 in a lot of people's eyes. But me personally, of the guys that I've seen wear a Knicks uniform, it's definitely Jalen Brunson for sure.
Okay, I like where we're going with this one. Bobby G, same question, man. The Knicks, Jalen Brunson on the top of the list for all time greatest Knick?
I have him 4th, actually, right now. And I got Pat number 1. I got Frazier number 2, Willis Reed 3, and then Brunson. And then that's just like kind of thinking off the top of my head. If I really did a deep dive, we'll see. Because to me, something that really matters is where you drafted there. And we all know Jalen Brunson came out of free agency from Dallas. He's been a Knick for 4 years. I'm relatively positive if he has it his way, he will finish his career as a Knick. But as of right now, today, he's got 4 years in, and there's just too many guys who have too many years in. That's it. Off the top of my head, I'll give him a lot of value for the title. But even remember, if OG Anunoby played the same game in Game 5 he played in Game 3 and 4, he might have won MVP in that series.
Yep.
And that's even with Jalen having the 45. So we talk about 50, 40, 90. OG splits were 50, 55, 90. That's insane with the rebounds and the steals. And, of course, he had his putback will be remembered forever. Like, that may be the single, that's like LeBron's block. That'll be the thing that's remembered more than Jalen Brunson's MVP, ironically.
Right.
So, but Ewing kind of was like one of those original LeBron guys. Like, he had high expectations coming out of Georgetown. He was expected to be, and minus the championship, he lived up to every single expectation. Like, he carried the city of New York through the 80s, and that's including the Yankees and the Giants, and like, he carried the city of New York. So,
you guys want to hear a Patrick Ewing story?
You got it.
He went to Cambridge Latin in Cambridge, Massachusetts. My friend Paul Chase, who played with him on that team, on those teams, went to Patrick Ewing's house to wake him up to get him to school so he would pass high school and be able to play on the team. If my friend did not get him up and awake and get him dressed and everything else, Patrick Ewing could have failed out of high school. My friend tells me this all the time. He was up to Patrick Ewing's back in the day in Cambridge and Latin. And he basically went to Ewing's house and accompanied him to school, walked to school with him in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Wow.
That's wild.
The story is almost all the time I see him when we talk about basketball. I coached against my friend too.
Yeah.
I mean, he tells me this story all the time. He was one of the reasons Patrick Ewing got to high school, and he got him passed every day. Every day he got him to school. So again, it's who you know. But Patrick Ewing came from very small beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
To Georgetown and then to New York to the Knicks. And he carried the Knicks franchise on his back year after year.
For years.
So
Patrick Ewing's a lot like Dan Marino.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree.
Carolina. Like he had a team good enough to just get this far, but never to get over the top.
Never to get over the hump.
Yeah.
And
Marino's best chance would have been in '85 had it not been for somebody's Patriots.
Oh man! And then look, this is what I'll say. You know, as I looked and scoured the internet, I've got multiple answers for Knicks who are either on the same tier or even better than Jalen Brunson after him winning a championship. So here I go. I got a top 10. Are y'all ready? Here you go. So we're going to deliver the top 10 list right here. We got Mark Jackson at 10, Earl the Pearl Monroe at 9, John Starks at 8, Charles Oakley at 7, Carmelo Anthony at 6, Bernard King at 5, Jalen Brunson at 4, Willis Reed at 3, Walt Clyde Frazier at 2, and Patrick Ewing at number 1. And I think this list will be up for grabs and adjustment based on Jalen Brunson's tenure as a Knick. Because if y'all don't know, and y'all know I like to bring the numbers to the table, Jalen Brunson left $100 million out there so we could build his team. $100 million. Okay, somehow, some way. More money. Y'all gonna have to pay that man. That second contract ain't gonna be like that, bro. Whoa. I don't know who's leaving. I don't know who's gonna have to go somewhere else. But give Jalen Brunson that money. Let him stay in New York. Goodbye, Kat. We had a great time. You got a ring. Goodbye, Mikhail's Bridges. You got a ring. Okay. So congratulations.
I'll play the host role. Do we think Jalen Brunson takes less money in the next contract?
No.
Does he value championships over cash right now, or does he value?
I'll say this. If the opportunity is to keep Josh Hart, him, and maybe they even reunite with Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. Maybe they even reunite with Dante DiVincenzo somewhere down the line and have him on the bench. If it means getting his boys, that Nova Knicks squad that they originally had together, I think he'll do it. But somebody like Karl Anthony Towns, I think Karl Anthony Towns will take a pay cut because I really got an opportunity to see and watch some of those interviews. Karl Anthony Towns values being a New York Knick, unlike any other. Very few people will value it because, he grew up in the tri-state area. He is Dominican. The love that I can only imagine being of Dominican or Puerto Rican descent, like Jose Alvarado, would garner you in a city like New York right now. I can only imagine that, somehow, some way you would find a way to supplement that couple of dollars. I'm going to be a marketing genius. I'm going to do tons of ad campaigns. I'm going to make my money back, but I'm going to take a $5 million pay cut to keep this Knicks team aligned for the future. but Jalen Brunson, we got to extend it out or something, okay? Because he has to get his money. That's for sure.
Yeah, I ain't give y'all nothing. I gave y'all a trophy. You better pay me.
Well, the owner came out today or yesterday, said the second apron is not an option for the Knicks right now. It's not an option. So that seems to tend to me to believe that he ain't paying big bucks out to his players.
No.
James
Dolan.
Yeah.
James Dolan don't want to let Charles Oakley into the building. You think he want to pay somebody more money? Negative. That's not what he does. That's not how he gets down.
He's got his titles. He's got free food all over New York right now.
All over right now. Trust me. And as you trust me, I want you to trust and believe in the barbershop that represents us right here at Rec Room Sports. That's right. Make sure you know the team at Unique Trends and Styles is waiting for you. Now let's talk looking sharp, because your style matters. Unique Trends and Style barbershop right there in Jacksonville, which is technically in Orange Park. They are fully staffed and they are ready for you with amazing new barbers, D and Unique. Don't forget, if you got wigs, if you got locks, we got Miss Sheree in the building. Call 904-592-7135 and make your appointment today. Let them know that you heard it on the Rec Room Sports Radio Show, and you will get a 10% discount for choosing one of our two new barbers. So make sure you know that Rec Room Sports and Unique Trends and Styles is ready to go. So right now, I'm ready to go and give away another set of tickets. 904-362-9901. We got a 4-pack of Sharks tickets. Brian, my producer, let me know that this is going down right about now. So give us a call, 904-362-9901. It's the Rec Room Sports Radio Show right here on ESPN Radio. We got special guests in the back. He's going to let us know what he thinks that the Spurs need to hear to get ready for next season. What's going on, Mr. Gunter? We see you right here on the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, it's the boys from the RecRoomSports Radio Show right here on ESPN Radio, man. Man, what a great show. We've been having to break down both the Knicks, both the Spurs, and the greatness behind the championship that was the NBA Finals. But there's always an aspect of teams in the offseason when they have to build, when they have to regain that synergy that they had to try to accomplish going up the hill to lead towards the playoffs, to lead towards the championships. And the funny thing is, I met a gentleman at my job who just so happens in specializing in bringing that energy to a team together. So you can call him for your team, for your colleagues, for your high school, middle school, professional teams as well. If you want, we're going to bring him in right now, and he's going to tell you exactly what we think we should be talking about as far as getting better going forward. We're going to talk to the coach. That's what some of them call him. We're going to go ahead and bring him up right now. Mr. Almon Gunter. Mr. Gunter, what it do? Welcome to the show.
What's up, big man?
Hey, we appreciate you, brothers. Thank you for joining us.
Can I hear you?
Oh, yeah, we got you. You live. Now, Mr. Almon, of course, I would be remiss to not share this information with the people because you're a man of the people, man. It's a really fly Instagram page you got right here, brother. Okay. So make sure if you don't know, you're going to follow Almon Gunter on IG, and it's going to say Coach Almon. It's got a pretty spiffy picture of him up there. And remember, please take a minute to join us on the Rec Room Sports YouTube page to see this live, because this is going to be one of those moments you will remember. Now, Mr. Almon, of course, you've been in and around the country speaking to teams about what they do best, which is come together
I can't
to
hear
win.
you.
Uh-oh, can you hear me? Uh-oh, jump out and come right back in, and jump out and come right back in and see what's happening. Okay, yeah. So this is where things take place, and we got to make sure it goes on. So we have a little bit of an error, but don't worry, we'll get it right back. So somehow, some way, make sure you join us on the Rec Room Sports Hub and join us so that you can meet Mr. Almon Gunter. The idea is he is a motivational speaker, and he's been building a national sportsmanship movement. I had the privilege of meeting him, and it was a pleasure speaking with him. And I wanted to bring him in so that, we could definitely hear about, his travels across the country and across the world doing what he does best. And then, now, of course, he deals with adversity all the time. So we're going to see if this is going to work. We're going to give him a second to jump out and then jump back in. Bobby G, me and you were talking about a couple things and see how we can figure out if this is going to work, of course. So when you think about motivation for, traversing the landscape of winning or losing, especially you, Uncle Scott, having been a coach, like what's some of the things that you need to hear or you think your team needs to hear from you to motivate them going into next year? Coach Almon, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, brother. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, brother. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Okay, Coach. So listen, I was just telling the guys and everybody listening that, we met on a whim at my job, and your enthusiasm about what you do outside of, just your everyday work is something that caught my eye, caught my attention. We were looking at your Instagram page, which I'll share again for everybody. And as we see, you're building a national sportsmanship movement. Talk to us about that and the work you've been putting in and around the sports scene here in Jax.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 28 years. I'm actually a motivational speaker. I speak for the largest companies all over the world. I've written 6 books. Book 7 is coming out in August. But my heart, dude, is sports. I was, a Nike sponsored athlete, 13th fastest person in the world for 200 meters. And so what I do is I really develop, student athletes, and I develop them, more than their game. It's for life after the game. So, we make you faster, quicker, stronger, and more mentally tough. But at the end of the day, dude, you're going to be a RP longer than you were a professional athlete, meaning regular person. So we set you up for the whole long run. And so our national movement, man, is sportsmanship is the gateway to life. When you really learn the key principles of sportsmanship, you can be successful in life. I mean, because when you really know what respect is and desire and dedication and to play the game with integrity, and be humility, have humility. And to me, that's being coachable. That's wanting to learn and just never lose your enthusiasm for that. Dude, you're gonna win life. I mean, the game of life would be really simple. So our national movement is how do we bring sports back to where it needs to be?
100%. Yeah, bringing sports back to where it needs to be, because of course, in the age of social media technology, it's somewhat deviated from what I think a lot of what the essence of sports was, because it used to be more team oriented. In some way it got to a lot of me, show me.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, right? The best teams in the world, they're more about we versus me. I mean, there's 8 principles that you have to have an outstanding team. And I can show you where if any one of those things is missing, you're just not going to win. So when you talk about the movement and the things that are going on now as an athlete, I think it's really hard to focus and be able to execute just because, you're in the stands. I mean, people fighting, you're yelling at refs. So how do you really focus on your game and you stay dialed in? And so for me as an athlete, the most important thing was to be able to show up, to be able to focus, to be able to execute, to be able to compete, because that's what you're really there to do. And so all of that other stuff, it distracts, it takes away from that. I always say, look, man, the world is full of big talkers and little walkers. You don't have to say anything. That's why I love track and field, baby, because the oval don't lie. She's a bad girl. She don't lie. The clock's the clock. You can do all that talking you want to talk, but sooner or later, I mean, the numbers. And so when it comes to sports, that's more of where I am,
All right. Bobby G.
All right. How you doing, Mr. Gunter? Bobby G here.
How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing awesome. I'm a parent. I'm a parent of a 10-year-old who's getting into athletics, basketball primarily. So my question would be on the youth side. What words or what advice would you have to the parents? Because in today's day and age, they're scouting them younger. The money comes quicker. So what words would you give to the parents to kind of guide the youth as they go along their journey?
Here's the best thing as a parent, I think. Number one, help your kid to learn the fundamentals.
Right.
It's about building the foundation, and to me, that's character, right? Because that's what's going to stand over time. Get them to fall in love with the process, dude. The process is the product. I tell people all the time, if you look at the statistics of youth sports, by the time they're 13, 75% of the kids have quit. There's about 14 million playing prior to that. And why do they quit? Well, because of the car ride home. Because of the car ride home, because the parents tell them what they should have done, would have done. And what's the funny thing is most of these parents have never played anything.
Wow.
Like they don't know what it's like. So my advice as a parent, just be a parent. If you would get into the habit of just telling your kid, hey, I just love watching you play. I just love watching you play. Help your kid fall in love with the process of what sports is. And here's my thing, dude. I mean, giving a 10-year-old a championship ring, what does that mean in the game of life? Nothing. I mean, are you serious? Like, what are we doing now? Like, what we should be doing is developing kids. It's like I said, it's character development. It's teaching them about respect, knowing their values so they never lose their voice. Right. That's what I teach. Because hey, look, life is fair. It shows up for everyone. So sooner or later, you're gonna have to go through some stuff. So if we're not teaching our kid that a tree grows in both directions at the same time, down and up, and so you need to grow real deep if you're gonna grow real tall. Now, when are you gonna do that? I mean, when are you gonna put that in? Because I can promise you now, 18's coming.
Oh yeah.
And then you out there in the real world. Like you could be having the worst day of your life, but go look out the mirror. Go look out the window. Life is still going on. So as a parent, if I had a 10-year-old, dude, all I'm doing is teaching work ethic.
Yeah.
I'm teaching show up for yourself, meaning, have a good attitude. Make the best decisions you can make with the information you have and give 100% effort. How do you lose? You never lose. Teach your kid you do one or two things. You either win or you learn, but you never lose.
Yeah. I like it.
And now I just got to say that again. You got to grow down and up at the same time.
Think about it. Isn't that what a tree do? And the deeper its roots, the harder it is for it to knock it down. I mean, so that's what I look for. It's like people coming to me and saying, hey, this kid has potential. Or you look at collegiate sports or pro sports, you're talking about, the potential that someone has. Man, I can care less about your potential. What I'm looking at, what's your floor? What's your foundation? Tell me what that is. Because see, if the foundation's right, there is no ceiling. I can build whatever I want. But if your foundation's not right, man, that's a knockdown house. You just knock that down and deal.
Jules right there.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro, if your foundation weak, I'll take your heart. I am not the dude you want to compete with. I will take your heart. You got to have a strong foundation.
Speaking of our strong foundation, Uncle Scott, you said you had a thought and you wanted to get off?
Yeah, so I've coached high school girls basketball for over 30 years. So I'm on and off. I tell them any problems in school, let me know. I take an interest in them not only on the court but off the court in school. How important to you is body language with kids?
It's everything.
To me, it's everything,
dude.
With kids.
It's everything. Your body language tells me whether you want to learn or not. Your body language tells me whether you're in this for you or whether you're in this for us.
Right.
The thing that makes sports so great is it's one mission, one vision, one goal. And how you show up physically says a lot about who you are as a person. I mean, mentally, it's hard to stay dialed in if your body is, if a coach is giving you feedback and you can't take feedback, you're not going to make it.
Exactly.
You're just not going to make it. You should be here's what I tell people. Every day, if you wake up, look for 3 things in your life. Look for challenge, change, and conflict, because you can't grow without those things. See, if you telling me you're a person that like to be comfortable, then boy, that's a lot of work, because you'll never be satisfied, because that tells me you like things. See, I believe in peace, and peace means to let go. See, I keep my hands empty so I can pick things up.
There you go.
Now, what I've done as a coach is we have 2 or 3 days of tryouts in basketball. Before we get on the court, I meet with my players in a classroom, give them a questionnaire. And little do they know, I'm learning about them through that questionnaire. I ask them some questions on there that they answer, and I've already learned about them through those questions on that piece of paper. And they don't know it, but I'm like, okay, you're here for the team. Well, no, you're not here for the team. So I've already learned with them. And then body language on the court is another thing.
Coach, what you telling me is, I already know that you're a leader, because number one, you're setting your agenda prior to doing what it is you do. But number 2, you're showing that you have people skills. To be a great leader, you have to have people skills. My papa used to say, look, treat everybody right, but don't treat them the same. So I got to know who you are. You understand what I'm saying? Because then I know how to put you in your roles and your responsibilities, so I can empower you to be able to help us go to where we say we're going to go. That's why I wrote the sportsmanship, course. It's an online course that people, that kids can take, because it really connects coaches, kids, and parents. I mean, you got to know these things. I mean, we should all be working together to help the kid get to where we're trying to ultimately get them, and that's to be a productive citizen.
Would you agree the most talented kid on your team is not your best player on your team?
Oh, no. Listen, man, let me tell you, talent ain't nothing, bro. Let me tell you something, man. At the end of the day, it's about putting in reps. Yeah. It's who puts in reps, man. Right. Think about, especially these young kids, man. I'll get people call me sometimes and say they have a 12-year-old kid and he's really good. I'm like, man, you ain't got nothing. Look, I don't get concerned or get jacked up about a kid till 2 things happen. They turn 16 years of age and they've been injured. When they get 16, see, they get a little independence. All of a sudden, they can move a little more freely. Now, mom and daddy ain't bringing them. They got to bring themselves, right? They got to schedule their own stuff. And then when you injured, you got to decide, am I going to work through this and come back and be better? Or I'm just going to go ahead and check out. See, prior to that, that's why I'm saying up until 16, dude, I'm about development. All I'm doing is trying to teach you how to be quicker, faster, stronger, but more mentally tough. Because sooner or later, you're going to meet that other person that's just as good as you. So then what you going to do? I mean, it's a perfect example is when you watch the NBA finals, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be, in the spotlight. But man, you show up in New York, you got two big leads, that spotlight turns into a microscope. Now, all of a sudden, all these little things start popping out. You're not blocking out for a shot. You're not doing the little things. I mean, so to me, it's like development. That's why your foundation, your floor, your character, to me, it says everything. Because if I have that, I can build whatever I want. That's easy.
Man.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, you brought it right to where we need to lead you. See, I knew you was going to do it. I knew it. So this is what we brought you in for. After giving us a little bit about you, I want you to take a minute and put yourself in that locker room with the Spurs as they begin to traverse the landscape of rebuilding after a tough loss in the finals. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Tell me what you would tell them. If Victor Wembanyama is listening right now, huh? What are we going to say to him, Coach? How are we going to get him ready?
Here's what I would say. I would say, B-Dub, here's the bottom line. Basketball is about, it's about closing. It's not just about competing, okay? We showed that we can play basketball. This was not about basketball. We had big leads. We had big leads in their arena, right? So if I'm talking to them, here's what I'm saying. Guys, we got to do little things. We got to stay fundamentally solid. And more importantly, we have to bleed. When they start chipping away at us, at what we built, we got to still stand. See, what they allowed was they allowed the crowd, they allowed all this stuff to stop them from playing to win versus I'm just trying not to lose. You see what I'm saying? But that comes with maturity. They're a young team. They showed that they can play this game. But that's why I say that mental toughness is everything. The game is always going to be played between your ears. And you have to compete. You know that our tagline is every day is game day. Every day is game day. So from the moment that we go back and we start practicing, we're playing like it's a game. Every practice is a game, bro. Those are the reps. Those are the reps that matter. So when you are in big moments, you hear all the time, they say, hey, big time players make big time plays at big time moments. Well, the truth of the matter is big time players make big plays every moment. They rehearse them. That's what they do. Because they don't take plays off. So if I'm talking to them, that's what I'm saying. Every day is game day, bro. When we walk in here, this is our office. We have one mission, one vision, one goal. The regular season to me is like, we're just trying to lay the foundation and get better for postseason. Because guess what? If we fall in love with this process, we're probably going to win our division, right? We're going to get a chance. And that's the beauty about the game of life. You're going to get a chance. There will be opportunities. But then you got to close them out. Right. So the regular season is nothing. And people get all jacked up about what seed you are and this and that. And to me, that don't mean anything. They're all professionals. They're all the best at what they do, whether you're a 1 seed or 8 seed. What it boils down to is who can focus and execute. Who can focus and execute down the road in a series. When it gets tough, it's going to get tough. So what I'm telling those guys in the room, everybody wants to be a lion till they have to do lion shit. We're going to start doing lion shit every day. That's how you win, bro. That's it. That's how you get there. It ain't hard. Sure. This ain't rocket science, baby. you just got to want them more than the other person want them. And that's why I say you can't get caught up on, comparing yourself to other people or competing with other people. It's like my papa used to tell me, Almon, you outrun a slow person. That don't make you fast. So we got to be the standard. What is our standard? We're setting our standard. And if we play to our standard, it's going to be hard to beat us. That's the message that I'm giving.
Man, let me tell you, sometimes We got to do line stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And that's right, man. Coach, first of all, I appreciate you taking some time out your busy schedule and joining us right here at the Rec Room Radio Show. Tell the people where we can find you on social media and online.
Oh, go to gameoflife3.com. That's where you'll find all of my stuff on my website. And then on social media platforms, hey, just go to Almon Gunter, Almon Gunter Experience. I'm all over the place. We got our own podcast on YouTube. Same thing, Almon Gunter Experience on YouTube. And we're just rolling, man. We're just rolling. We're getting it done. You know, we helping kids. We're building bridges.
Well, listen, we appreciate you helping us build some bridges with the team here today because we heard you. I think I'm ready to go do some line stuff in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and take a break. What's going on, y'all? You know what it is. It's the RecRoomSports Radio Show right here on ESPN Radio. Coach Almon Gunter, thank you, and we will be right back in just a moment, y'all. Peace.
Every day's game day, baby.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Y'all know what it is, man. It's the boys from the RecRoomSports Radio Show right here on ESPN Radio. It's Uncle Scott. It's Bobby G. It's AP. And next week, gentlemen, it's happening. The moment we all been waiting for.
The return
Uh-oh. Who's returning? Wait a minute.
Jay? Where's Jay? Jay?
Yeah, where is Jay?
Where is Jay?
Don't worry. They will be making some more guest appearances in the future as he is traversing the landscape of America once again. So big shouts out to Jay. But the idea is, gentlemen, next week is the NBA draft. Ooh, yeah.
That's not what it is.
Oh, no?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
It's Bobby G's birthday.
Oh, what? Yo, Bobby G, birthday, cowbell.
Where's that one? He needs to produce that dinner for you on your birthday, Bobby.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be fantastic.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to be celebrating a World Series championship.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next week, you will know who the World Series champs are for baseball. But the draft is unfolding. And as we get closer to the draft, fellas, it's a lot of trade talks going on in the NBA. Giannis is on the move. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to say it might be. With these trades and the picks being involved, we have to prepare ourselves for the launch of Giannis Antetokounmpo into the stratosphere. Where he'll land, we don't know. Jalen Brown, yeah, denying it online. Denying it because he's saying he doesn't want to, but it's not his decision to make. We have seen the brass from the Celtics do more than motivate players by getting them up out of there. He could be a part of that Giannis move. I've heard talks or read talks about a 3-team trade that could involve the Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, and picks from Atlanta. Very interesting. But of course, AJ DeBanza, Adrian Peterson, Adrian Peterson.
Can I give you a little breadcrumb thing for the draft next week?
What's that?
Where does Booz's father work?
Where does he work?
Utah.
In the Utah Jazz front office. Could Boozer be going number 2 to Utah if DeBanza gets picked number 1?
Oh yeah, okay. I
100%. I would agree. He's going to Utah if DeBanza gets picked number 1. The owner wants DeBanza, but if the Wizards hold on to that pick and they take him number 1, then I think Darren Peterson goes number 3 or number 4. Darren Peterson only wants to go to Washington, supposedly.
He's only trying out for Washington. He's only playing for Washington.
Yep.
The reports are
how far can he slide down the draft board?
And this is what one of the reports is that, of course, if the trade, if the Wizards pick DeBanza, will the Utah Jazz take Peterson and do a swap for 1 and 2 and probably future picks, which could possibly lead to the trickle-down effect from Washington and Atlanta having those extra picks to get either the move for Jalen Brown, because a lot of people are speculating that Giannis himself, who has a no-trade clause, really wants to go to Miami. Interesting.
Do we think the Bucks have to do this before the draft to get this lottery pick?
Got to. Yeah. We want to build for the future. You want some players involved. You want some good role players. You got to do it now. You got to get it out the way. Go ahead and make the 3-team deal happen. Put whoever you want in the blender and get them on up out of there. Period.
I think Giannis ends up in Boston.
I don't know. That speculation has been happening too. But once again, Giannis has the no trade, so he has to agree to going to wherever it is, and the pieces got to make sense. And I'm ready for it.
I've heard of a 3-way. So I've heard a 3-team scenario that keeps popping up on my timeline with Boston, Cleveland, and Milwaukee.
Yep, I hear that too. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Somebody's going to get Evan Mobley.
Yeah, Evan would go to Milwaukee, and Jalen Brown would come to Cleveland.
And Giannis would go to
Boston.
Giannis would go to Boston.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I would think you'd love to have Jalen in Cleveland, Bobby.
And the one I saw was pretty much the same thing, except it was at Atlanta, where Jalen Brown goes to Atlanta, Giannis comes to Boston, and Milwaukee would get like a bucket of players from Atlanta that are, because they're all young and they all on those young contracts, along with the picks that they would acquire or have acquired from Washington, which will be involved if Washington trades to Utah the number 1 overall pick. So it's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces. That's why I said 9 times out of 10, if the draft is Thursday, look for some moves to be made, Monday, Tuesday. And on top of that, as we talk about Atlanta, Trae Young has opted out of his contract for Washington. So that leaves him as a free agent. But of course, that still leaves him room to be signed again by Washington, depending on what they do in the draft, because he may not fit their future mold. He may have to pack his bags and leave and head for wide open spaces of, Phoenix. Or
also keep in mind, didn't they make the NBA draft a 2-night thing now?
Yes, it's a 2-nighter. Yes, it's a 2-nighter. Not the whole one night.
Thanks, Bronny. Thanks, Bronny. Oh. No, it was because of Bronny.
It's because of Bronny?
It was because of Bronny.
Yes. Speaking of those things.
Also, rumor around here, not to feel myself left out here, but rumor around here is that OKC's going to try to trade into the top 10. So they have the picks to do it. So don't be surprised if it happens.
To do it.
Yeah. I mean, don't be surprised if it happens.
They have the Chet to do it.
Basically, they got the Chet to do it. And before we get up out of here, as you talk about Chets,
get on the Yaxel boat.
Come on. Bobby G, you got a slice for the homies?
That's words of advice. Man, as we sit here, we celebrate championships, we're celebrating World Cup, all the stuff being celebrated, but, they always say a few bad apples spoils a bunch, man. New York fans, get your lives together. We had 2 great moments that were essentially almost spoiled by fans, and that's the rowdiness going on in New York and John Hockett. You moron, on what people completely forgot about politics for 2 hours, and you wouldn't ruined it by what you said after your fight.
Yep.
Like, there's a saying, a lot of my people from down south, some dumb, not plumb dumb. Well, Josh Hockett, you are plumb dumb.
Plumb dumb.
Like, why would you take that moment to be about you? But to everybody else, hey, have a great weekend. Happy Juneteenth. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe, and come see us next week.
And I got another piece before we get up out of here. So we talked about sports bringing people together, families, tribes, cultures. New York is going crazy right now. I got an opportunity to watch the finals game with my father.
Hey, there you go.
And the biggest Knicks fan I know dang near shed a tear. Okay? Screamed in the other house. Lost his mind when the Knicks won the other night. And I have got to say it was cool to do that. And, me and my father might have bumped heads a lot about some things. Most of it was my fault. Some of it was his. He'll never admit that. But most of it was mine. But one thing that I can definitely say and attribute to him is my love of the game and sports to my father. So big shout out to Big Bernie, who got me that Patrick Ewing hype poster and made me think I could be 7 foot tall too. Nope. But without him, wouldn't be here right now, literally. And I also wouldn't be here loving the game of basketball. But we got so much more in the world of sports to talk about. Baseball coming up, WNBA next week, and I'm excited to bring it all back to you. So for Uncle Scott Cole, for Alan AP Perales, and myself, and Bobby G, of course, from Game Time 216 and Audible Sports Podcast with Life and Sports Be Coaching, it's your boy K Witch, my number 1 draft pick. We go. Peace.
See ya.